When Israeli officials talk about disarmament, they're actually not talking about arms. They're using that as a proxy for, we want a full surrender of the Palestinian people.
Right.
In a way, if you look at this just on a factual level, this is a total humiliation for Israel. If you actually look at facts, they are demanding that Hamas give up its arms. What arms? Most of it is either repurposed Israeli ordnance, homemade by the engineering corps of Hamas battalions, sniper rifles. They have rocket-propelled grenade launchers that either were bought on the black market from Israelis or that they've manufactured within Gaza. A massive modern military that is a killing machine in the region has been unable to militarily defeat guys wearing flip-flops and tracksuits. So on one level, this issue of disarmament, the world should sort of be saying, wait a minute, Israel's goal from the beginning has been the obliteration of Hamas and the disarmament of Hamas. They've utterly failed to do it, even though they've killed tens of thousands of Palestinians in the process. Trump himself said that upwards of 20,000 Qassam Brigade soldiers have been killed. The pre-war estimates were between 20 and 25,000 of the Qassam brigades. Now, U.S. officials, I think it's really interesting that when you have Kushner and Witkoff and Trump talking about this issue of the weapons, they seem to understand that there is a game that Israel is playing here, and that the issue isn't actually the weapons themselves. It's a political question. And that's why I'll go back to Hamas's position. When they first responded to Trump, they broke his 20-point plan into two basic parts. The first part was we, the resistance, holding the Israeli captives, we have the mandate to negotiate an end to the war, the resumption of delivery of life essentials, and the issue of Israeli troop withdrawals. But these other issues are political questions. Now, Trump's people could have taken a hard line and said, no, it's all or nothing, but they haven't. Trump continues to misrepresent, according to Hamas officials, what they actually said about disarmament. I suspect, based on what sources within the Palestinian resistance have told me, that when these discussions took place with Witkoff and Kushner, and I did speak to a source recently with direct knowledge of that conversation, what Khalil al-Hayya, I'm told, said to Witkoff and Kushner was, we are open to disarmament in the context of the constitution of a Palestinian state and a Palestinian armed force. That is not a new position. But in the same way that Hamas was asking that Trump publicly announce an end to the war without any way of validating that or keeping it accountable, I think that there were those kinds of discussions at play. And so what Trump is representing is a dramatic oversimplification of the position Hamas has taken. But all Palestinian factions have said this clearly, armed ones. We will disarm in the context of merging our forces into a professional standing army, as has happened through history in these anti-colonialist struggles.